we live?
I
We
think
are
we are
live.
live.
Hello, everybody.
Hello and
Hello,
welcome.
everybody. Yes, and welcome to Pages and Perspectives with Oslin and T. I'm just looking to see if anybody's in the chat. Nobody's in the chat yet. Hi, Dr. Ninja Turtle.
Hello.
Again, hello, everyone. Welcome to Pages and Perspectives with Oslin and T. Hello to everybody live and to everyone that will be watching on the replay. Um, This is a live community centered book club where we explore meaningful books through open conversation, reflection, and real life application. So, yes, just as some reminders, you don't need to read the book completely to um, take part in the conversation. We are open to different perspectives. And one thing that is very important is as we share perspectives, we are not here to fix or judge anyone's opinions or how they feel about things. This is really just to get together, learn, understand, grow. So thank
Yes.
everybody for being here. Um, yes.
Yes.
All right. So we're going to get started with we're going to start by um, giving kind of like a high level overview of what we read this week. This is just week 2. So, again, thanks everybody for the support. And we really appreciate that. So, week 2, we went through chapters 4, 5, and 6. And
Yes.
T is going to go over our overview.
Okay. So, chapter 4, the chapter is Let Them Stress You Out. And the main focus of this chapter is talking about stress. And stress is about, or it's rooted in, trying to mold what is happening around you and other people's actions
Right.
rather than accepting the reality of the current situation that you're in and deciding to make a change or a decision that's needed to bring peace in your life. So you're trying to control everything else without really looking at what you're dealing with here
Hmm.
and deciding to make moves that will bring you peace.
Right.
So I'm going to give a quick example. Could be a job.
Hmm.
You've been on a job and you're trying to get a promotion and you want to get promoted, but and your boss is just kind of giving you the runaround, oh, we can't fit that in the budget right now. We can't do that right now, et cetera, et cetera. You can't force your manager to give you the promotion. You can't
Hmm.
force the company to give you a promotion. But what you can do is you can look for another job.
Yes.
Yes, it may take time.
Yep.
Yes, it may be difficult,
Hmm.
but you can find something that will give you what you are seeking.
Right.
So you have that control. No, you can't control other people and what they do, but you can control you.
Hmm.
So that's an overview of chapter 4. Chapter 5 is let them think bad thoughts about you. And honestly, that's the one that hit
Hmm.
to me.
That one.
And this chapter is about we naturally seek approval from other people. I mean,
Hmm.
we want other people to view us in a positive light, and we want them to agree with the decisions we make and the choices we make, and to just, be almost like our number one cheerleader kind of thing.
Right.
But you can miss out on something that could be life changing for you
Mhm.
because you're seeking other people to approve of what you're doing, and they may not, and they have every right to not agree.
Yes.
They have every right to feel the way they feel. They have every right to view you in the way that they do. That is their autonomy, but you can't control that. All you can control is you.
Hmm.
So it's about not allowing someone or someone's opinion of you to make you miss out on opportunities, to make you not do something you really desire to do. It
Yes.
could be as simple as you're not wearing an outfit because you're afraid that somebody's going to say something about what you have on.
Yep.
When the reality is, if it makes you happy to put it on,
Hmm.
that's really all that matters.
Exactly.
And then we go, so that's a brief overview of chapter 5. Chapter 6 is how to love difficult people. And the main overview of that chapter is what happens when someone you love or care about doesn't agree with a decision that you made, or they have opinions that simply don't align with yours.
Right.
People are going to misunderstand you. They may project their feelings on you. They could disagree with you. They may have opinions of what of you that you don't even agree with.
Right.
But you have to let them and trust yourself instead of seeking approval and validation from those people. You have to believe in you and your
Absolutely.
decisions and stand firm in them
Hmm.
instead of waiting for other people to approve and making yourself miserable waiting for approval from others. I think these three chapters, the cohesiveness of them is stress.
Hmm.
All three of these situations are stressful situations.
Right.
All three of these chapters are also about our desire to
Right.
control what people think, control what they how they view us
Hmm.
and what they do, even their actions. Sometimes we want to control actions. So that is the cohesiveness of these three chapters and the main kind of like joining thread that kind of puts them all together. And we're going to go into next just our thoughts and our feelings on these chapters. So I'm going to swing it back over to Oslin and
Yes.
let her give her opinion and what she got out of these chapters. So take it away, Oslin.
Absolutely. Well, first, I want to say hello, Angie Forston. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for being here.
Thank
Um,
you.
and yes, oh my gosh, T, that's a lot to dissect. So I just want to say that um just honestly, I feel like full transparency. Y'all know how I am. So like this
Hmm.
is Pages and Perspectives. For those that have been with me and T for the last couple years, y'all know that this is a new joint venture that we're really excited about. And we are also, figuring out the structure and the flow of everything. So what we just did was go over the overview of chapters so that if you maybe have not read the book and you're just tuning in, you know what happened, about what happened, and now we're just going to share what we feel about that. So T, I think you did a really, really, really great job with that overview. It even jogged my memory, which is, my memory is special, so thank you for
Special.
that. So man, it's so many takeaways, but gosh, like where do I even start? First of all, I want to add to your list of things you said that they
Okay.
have in common. You said, what did you say? Control,
Control and stress.
stress.
All three
Yes,
of those situations bring us stress. They all bring
right,
us some degree of stress.
exactly. And I want to add validation.
Ooh, very
Yes,
good.
I want to add validation because that's where that comes from. At the
Hmm.
end of all of that, you just want to be validated. You just want to be told that you're doing the right thing. Somebody's proud
Hmm.
of you, that you're seen. You know what I mean? You just want to feel loved and you want to feel important. And
Hmm.
I think that um Mel Robbins, what she did in these chapters is really, first of all, getting on that level with you. You know what I mean? Like she's
Yeah.
getting on that level with you. Like, listen, you can have the title, you can have the marriage, you can have the car, you can have all of the outwardly things, but these things here is something that we all deal with as humans. These are
Hmm.
human emotions that we feel. We want to be, it's technically nothing wrong with wanting to feel validated. And it's technically nothing wrong with um just wanting to have things in order. But what Mel Robbins does is shows us how to reclaim that type of power. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
we reclaim that type of power. We're not looking for validation from other people. We give that to ourselves first. And you more so can open yourself up to, like, I validate who I am first. I validate my decisions, and I'm opening my space up to people that happen
Mm,
to also agree or happen to like what I'm doing or like this about me, or like, but I'm showing up as myself unapologetically, period. Like, period. Like, I'm not going to try to think about how this might be perceived by this person and putting that unnecessary pressure on ourselves.
right.
So that those whole chapter all of those chapters were really good. They worked really, really well together. One thing that I want to bring out here is in chapter 6, where she used family as a really
Mhm.
strong example. I totally felt that. You know what I mean? Like, oh my gosh, the way that she describes family is like a web. So in this web, your decisions affects them, and it affects, because people want to know, why is my family in my business? They're literally your family. Like, stop
Yeah.
acting stupid. Stop acting like you don't know why.
Hmm.
Stop acting like you don't know. They're your family. I feel honestly fortunate enough in a lot of ways to where my family is so small, my immediate family is so small that, like, I don't feel that type of pressure. You know what I mean? Like, from my dad, from like, everybody's doing their own thing.
Yep.
But I more so felt it on the relationship sides, because not all of the relationships in my family are fixed or healthy or thriving. So, it just kind of made me think about, oh, the part about the reframe. I might have to open and look real quick. The reframe. Um,
Yes. Um,
Hold on real quick. I
I
found
think
it.
it's
Oh,
frame of
frame of
reference.
reference. Yes.
Frame of reference.
Frame
Yeah.
of reference. And here she says, frame of reference is a fancy way to say understanding the lens through which somebody sees something. Well, when I read that, I immediately knew, like, wait, you have to have a certain level of emotional intelligence to even attempt that.
Hmm.
Honestly, you have to have a certain level of emotional maturity and an emotional intelligence to even think that. Because if it's not developed, you're gonna think, why should I care about? No, you know what I mean. So that was my first thought. But she went into that. She went into how, like, she literally used that same. She said it takes an extraordinarily mature person to be able to detach from your emotions and step into someone else's shoes. And she just talked about how um understanding somebody's viewpoint can lift so much off of you, because you come to know that you can only meet that person where they are.
Exactly.
Also, if you choose to, because you don't have to. But, and I also love that, because she did make that difference. Like, I'm not saying eat crap from your family. No. But if you have somebody in your life that you care about enough to really want to make this work, this is something that you can use to, you know what I mean, like, to deal.
Hmm.
Frame frame of reference. So that
Yes,
was a really nice takeaway for me.
it was. Um, I think with the whole frame of reference thing, what I took from that is you can extend that using that frame of reference.
Mhm.
Don't disappoint yourself though when the other person can extend that back.
Yes.
I thought
Yes.
about that. I was like, you
Right.
could be using your frame of reference to understand where somebody is coming from, but that doesn't mean that they're going to do the same for you.
Right.
So
Yeah.
when you're doing that, you have to
Yep.
realize that that's just
It's for you.
it's for you. It's
Mhm.
not for them. So that was one thing I thought about when you mentioned that frame of reference.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a good point. She brings it all together so well.
Hmm. Well, I don't know if you want me to get into my thoughts for
Of course.
these
Oh,
chapters, or
hi
did you
D
have
Dog.
anything else? Oh, hi, D
Yeah,
Dun.
I'm
Hey,
I'm trying to
Chef
keep my eyes on chat a little bit
Doc
too.
Angie, if I haven't mentioned everybody's name.
Hi, Chef Kid
Hello.
Dice. Yes, T, please. What are your thoughts? What are
Or
you?
did you have some more? I was waiting on you. I want you to get all your thoughts out.
Well,
Or
that
did
honestly, that was my main one because of the next part. The next part, I'm gonna share another little chunk of.
oh,
But
okay.
for this part, I'm good.
Okay. Man, honestly, these chapters this week kind of hit me hard.
Hmm.
Like they really I did a lot of thinking about this week because all three of these chapters touched on something that have happened to me personally in the past week or so.
Hmm.
One work wise, one personal family wise, and then one even dealing with up here on YouTube.
Right.
And in the first situation, I'll tell you that in every one of those situations, I tried to use frame of reference, but that doesn't always work for every situation. It
That's
doesn't
true.
always work.
Hmm.
Um, in the work situation, and I can also tell you that in every one of those situations, my initial response was dead wrong.
Hmm.
My initial reaction was wrong. What I felt like I needed to do, or what I realized, is I have to reflect
Hmm.
before I act. I have to reflect on what I'm
Yes.
looking at
Hmm.
before I react. And in every one of those situations, my first thing was to jump, react immediately. But upon reflection,
Hmm.
I realized I used the frame of reference for the work situation. I don't know if you remember in chapter 5, I think it was chapter 5 or 4, it may have been 4, where she said you have to think about whether or not something is this going to bother you right now?
Hmm.
Will it bother you tomorrow?
Yeah.
Will it bother you a week from now? Will it bother you years down the road? If
Right.
this is something that is that important to you, where it's going to continue to bother you for a long time, you
Hmm.
have to speak up. You have to do something.
Yeah, because you don't
It's
live in
almost a call
misery.
for
You do
action.
not want to live in misery.
Exactly.
You have to use that let me. Hang on to that
Mm-hmm.
let me change my situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So in that work situation, that's what I realized. I needed to say something.
Mm-hmm.
Something needed to be done to affect the future of things. So I needed to
Right.
say something.
Mm-hmm.
In the personal situation, now me, I'm a talker. I like to talk things out with people.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to have a conversation,
Mm-hmm.
like try to get the other person's point of view because I do want to understand where the other person's coming from.
Right. Same.
In the personal situation, we had a conversation and I
Mm-hmm.
realized, okay, I'm looking at it from their lens. Yeah, they're never going to agree with how I see it.
Mm-hmm.
So what can I do?
Mm-hmm.
I do have some control over this situation. They don't have to agree with my decision.
Right.
They don't have to. I
Right.
think that's a lot of I think that's sometimes our biggest problem is we think that somebody has to agree
Right.
and we all have to sit on one accord. That's not even human nature for
It's
us all
true.
to agree
That's
on
true.
everything.
That's true. It's not.
Right. So once I accepted that, I let myself handle
Mm-hmm.
the situation and in the way that would bring me peace.
Right.
And it was all squashed because there was no getting rid of that relationship.
Mm-hmm.
There was no it meant enough to me to not harp on that. It wasn't going to
Right.
bother me a week from now. It wasn't going to bother me a month from now. It wasn't going to
Right.
bother me a year from now.
Now it's
So,
beautiful, and that's a contrast because the
mhm.
thing at work was like, this is gonna, this is gonna be some. I need to do it now.
Yes.
I need to do it now. I need to speak.
Mhm.
And then the personal situation is like, I could make this a big deal if I wanted to, but at the end of the day, it's just not worth it.
Right.
Right? It's just not worth it. It's not worth harping over, like you said. Which is,
Mhm.
and that's it. That's the power of understanding when to apply those situations and having balance. And
Mhm.
let me and let them. That's both.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And then this situation up here, I felt like talking wasn't doing the trick. It wasn't going to work. That
Mhm.
wasn't going to be the best option, to
Right.
talk it out. Because I think what I was trying to do is make someone understand me
Mhm.
and see my point of view when I knew that wasn't going to happen.
Right.
Because they
Right.
have a right to see and view things as they look at me and my situation in the way that they want to. So I can't force
Absolutely.
them to look at it like I want them to look at
Right.
it.
Right.
So the
You
best
can't you
thing
can't
was to,
control adults. We cannot
yeah,
control the perspective of others, which is a
exactly.
huge theme in this book so far. We
Mhm.
cannot control. The only thing that we can control is our reaction and our response.
Exactly. So
Yep.
the best thing was to just detach,
Mhm.
to
That's
not
powerful.
engage.
Yes. Detachment is very powerful.
Yeah, because it's not you shouldn't take it that far.
Right.
There's no reason in this situation that we're in up here to take it that far, to
Right.
get it to a personal level. Just
Mhm.
detach.
Mhm.
And so that was a better way. So that's, I just wanted to tie in how each of these chapters had a little bit of something
Yeah.
that I could directly relate to ongoing things right now. And I think that's why it's got me in my feels this week.
Mhm.
I'm in my feels about these chapters this week.
Yeah. Cuz it's really good like you know, I'm telling y'all a little bit backstory, okay? Not too much because we're on a time schedule and we want to have people come up and talk with us.
Hmm.
So y'all prepare. We want y'all to come talk with us, okay? But what I'm really learning is that especially when you're reading, like it's just a powerful form of communication.
Yes.
Reading is a powerful form of communication. Somebody wrote this. This was somebody's thoughts, experiences, everything, and you're reading them and you're relating to things, and it really does like open you up. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It definitely opens you up, especially when you're like the reading, and you know it's a well written book when you can apply in real time. So like you're reading these chapters and you're noticing these examples through the week. That's transformation. That's where
Hmm.
growth happens. Like we are on the right track. Okay.
Right.
We are on the right track. Absolutely. So awesome. All right. So as we mentioned that we want you all to come up. But before we come up, I had this idea of a segment that I wanted to try where T and I will share and rotate at different times just a gem, like something that we
Mm.
really like this stuck. And we'll take time to share. After that, we will drop the link. Do we have the link? I can get it if we don't. But we'll drop the link and have people come up and just talk to us about the week, whatever. Y'all know we are Island and Tea, so y'all can come up and talk about anything. But
Mhm.
definitely, we want to make time for that. So this week's gem drop is a passage or part of chapter 5. Chapter 5 is let them think bad thoughts about you. Okay?
Mm.
So it's just a short, this is it. It's a short part of this chapter. And it says starts about the chapter's title, but I don't want people to think negative thoughts about me. Quotation, bold in quotations. Mel says, let me get a drink of water before I read all this.
Have mine over here too.
Yeah. Mel says, I know what you're thinking, but I don't want people to think negative thoughts about me, Mel. I know you don't. Neither did I. But the fear of what other people may think is a major source of your self doubt. Then she gives examples like, I'm not good enough. And then the question, for who? I'm not smart enough. For who? They're going to be mad at me. Who's going to be mad? My parents won't approve. So if I do this, no one is going to like me. Who is no one? Who is no one? What will my friends think? Whatever they want. Does this make me look bad? Again, to who?
To who?
To who?
Mm-hmm.
Every one of these common fears is all tied to other people. That's why I'm repeating this fact over and over again. Adults will have negative opinions about you and your outfit and what you just said and what you did last week and what you want to do. Let them.
Period.
Adults are allowed to think whatever they want to think. So are you. This is why the let them theory will set you free. Instead of living your life on the defense, you're going to get on the offense. You're going to play the game of life the way you want. You're going to play the game of life the way you want. Here's another truth. You are so much stronger than anyone's opinions about you. Stop giving your power to other people and step into your potential. Let me live my life in a way that makes me proud. Let me make decisions that align with my values. Let me take risks because I want to. Let me follow the path my soul is turning me toward. Do what makes you happy. Being brave, taking risks, and following your own path will always be more important than other people's opinions about it. This is your life. Stop letting other people's opinions ruin it. Then she lists of things, a number of things. Write the book, ask them out, wear what you want to wear, go surf all day, go back to school, drop out of school, move, get the dog, book the trip, stop drinking. Take the path that you've always been scared to follow. The more you use the let them theory, the more you'll realize that underneath this fear, your soul has been nudging you all along in the direction that is meant for you. Every time you say let them, you clear all the noise and distractions on the surface and create space for something deeper. Your voice, your intuition, your truth, and your unique path in life. It's always been there. It's just been buried beneath all this fear. As you use the let them theory to free yourself of the burden of other people's opinions, you'll begin moving through life with your values, your needs, and your goals as your roadmap. Instead of anticipating what other people might think, you'll navigate your life in a way that makes you proud of yourself. And that right there is the secret. When you are proud of yourself, you hold all the power.
Oh, I
What a
love
gem.
that. I
What a gem.
love that so much. I love that.
What a gem.
Mm-hmm.
And I just reread that sentence. And again, that's validation, like we talked about earlier, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh man. That
hi,
almost made me
Robinson
like
family.
misty.
Huh?
I said that one almost got to me like
That's because it's a real thing. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a very real thing.
Very, very real.
Do you still see me? Did
Hey
I mess
Robinson
something up?
family. What was that?
Oh, I thought I messed something up.
Oh no, no, no. We still see you and hear you.
Okay, good.
But yeah, that's a powerful, powerful just that whole I don't know, it was something about that whole chapter
Hmm.
just did something to me.
Yeah,
Um we seek so much from other people.
right. We
But
outsource that and we shouldn't. You
right.
know, we outsource those like things. Like, and it's crazy. Like, it's crazy what we might be outsourcing that we don't even realize.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, honestly, me opening up myself to even something like a book club and reading for fun, I've been feeling so much fulfillment from something that I've always wanted to learn things and maybe always kind of like was looking to learn, like looking for people to maybe teach me things. But now I'm like, I'm teaching myself and I'm still learning. And it's like, I literally feel, it's just like something I took control of.
Mhm.
I had no idea that was something I was even outsourcing. Like it could be the wildest things that you you may not even realize, but that's the part of, you got to think about it. You got to give it some thought.
Yes. Yes. And that it's applying these things. That, I mean, that's what makes this such a great book, is that you can literally apply the things as things are happening to you. You immediately can recognize them,
Right.
and things you've done, things you've said, things, the way you've behaved in the
Hmm.
past, like immediately you can see yourself. So that was a great
Absolutely.
gem, Oslin. Great
Thank
one.
you. Thank you. All right. So now it's time to open up the discussion.
Ooh,
And
I don't know how to get the link. Where is the link? I'm not good up here. Like, I'm still not
oh, it's
acclimated.
okay. Yeah, it's okay. Like I said, full transparency. We are learning in real time, like, you know. So I'll get the link, but
Oh, I
who's
got it.
prepared? Oh, you got it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, who's prepared to come up? Or at least, like if you've been listening in the chat, what are you thinking about what we're talking about?
I think Dr. Ninja Turtle had a question too earlier, if I can find it.
Okay. Dr. Ninja Turtle says, how do you speak up when you are afraid of losing your job?
How
Um,
do you feel about that, Osmond? Because I have my thoughts about it.
I would say, give me 1 second. Tell me if this works. Is it showing on the screen? His comment?
Nope. I don't
Okay.
see it.
I'm gonna have to do that on my computer. You can like sometimes flash the comment. I was seeing if that
Yeah, I'm
worked.
trying to see. Hold on. Let me see
All
if I
right. So honestly, I would say, how do you let me read it. There you
I
go.
just did. I did it.
Yay, thank you, T.
Yeah.
All right. He said, how do you speak up when you are afraid of losing your job? That's going to be one of those, like most of these questions are very personal, right?
Mhm.
I've never personally, even though I've been working for over a decade, I've been working since I was 16 years old. I've never had a job that I was like afraid of like losing to the point where I would not speak up. Um, so it depends on what it is. Is it something small? Is it something like Mel Robbins and like T brought out? Will it matter in the next hour? Will it matter in the next week? Will it matter next year? If it's something that is like, this is going to really bother me, let's say you are a career person and you have something like, this is something that's really going to bother me. um I would just say, is it worth speaking about? Could speaking about make it worse, or is it better for me to just see what my other options are? That's something that you brought up in chapter 4, T, that I feel like is
Mhm.
very, very, very important when it comes to jobs and um employment and money, right?
Mhm.
Because for the most part, to earn income, you have a job.
Yes.
A lot of times people will be in a situation in their lives where they're not making enough income.
Mhm.
And I sometimes feel, how sometimes you can have a thought, but like you're judging your own thought before you even get it out.
Yes. Yes, I
That's
do
how I
that a
am
lot.
with that's how I am with this. And I want to stop because I know I'm not meaning it to be offensive, and I know that I know what's going on in the world, and I don't want it to come off like that. But sometimes I feel like people don't give enough credit to themselves for like being able to change their situation.
That was going to be my thought. I
Yeah,
think that one thing that I've learned through the years is placing value on myself.
right.
I don't care what company I'm working with. I've been with this company that I work for now for a very long time. I would not if I was unhappy. If I
Right.
was unhappy, I realize my value, I will find somewhere else. I
Mhm,
feel that deeply,
mhm, mhm.
Um, and I think a lot of times in how a lot of jobs treat you, they break you down. They
Yeah.
break down your confidence. And,
Mhm,
and we lose that confidence in ourselves to where we feel like, man, this is all I'm going to get. Because I've had those feelings
mhm,
before.
mhm, mhm.
Um, and it's very, very important to always maintain a sense in yourself that you deserve better, that you
Right.
deserve more.
Absolutely. That's where it starts. That's where it
Um,
starts. That's where it starts, honestly. Like, um, yeah, it's like let's say you started a job and they don't have full benefits.
mhm,
And you like, I have this job, they don't have full benefits, like they don't even have the decency to pay me on holiday. You
mhm,
know, they just want us to be off without even having pay, or we don't have health insurance or whatever it is. I done heard some stuff because these jobs do not care. Okay. And they will treat you
mhm,
however you let them treat you. So let's say somebody should stand in that situation and like year after year, they don't have no PTO, they don't have health insurance, they're struggling. Why not get another job? Why not get another job? You know what I mean? Why not get another
or
job?
try,
Or try. And that's the
try.
thing. That's my thing too, is like, even if you have to start from the bare bottom, even if you have to pay somebody to do your resume, or you don't want to get on YouTube University and learn how to do your resume, learn how to pull from the jobs that you have had. How do these talents and things that I learned cross over?
Mhm,
Use AI.
mhm.
However, you have to do, first of all, believe that you can do it and be humble enough. I think that has a humility factor too. Like, you have to be willing to say you don't know these things instead of I can't get another job. Why? I don't have a resume. Why? You can always follow that why and get back to the root
Mhm.
problem to
Oh,
get
that's
out
a
of that
good one.
situation.
Very good point, Osland.
You know what I mean? Like, you can always go back to the, because at some point there's some type of limitation that you're not acknowledging. That's the only reason. Not saying that it's easy to get a job.
Mm-mm.
I've been one of those people that
Nah.
um was like fortunate enough, blessed enough, whatever. I could leave a job and be employed again within 2 months tops. Period.
Mhm.
At any given time, and I have not been a job hopper. I'm talking about, like, let's say I worked at a place for like 3 years and I'm over it. I can get a job in 2 months easily. My last situation humbled the heck out of me. Okay, because I was like, I actually did it. I remember I lost my job in mortgage. I made a video about that. I lost my
Mhm.
job in mortgage. The next month, literally a month later, I got hired on the spot doing insurance. You remember that too, when I
Mhm.
was working for that
I
crazy
remember
lady?
all of this. All of this
Yeah,
stuff.
and then me being me, Osland, that's just used to whatever. It's gonna work itself out. I quit that job. Now that was a boundary I was setting in place, but I also feel like a more mature that matured me, because I was like, I probably could have endured something or spoke up or something, but my initial reaction was to just. I saw I learned, and again, that experience humbled me as far as what this market is, but I never gave up. I never gave up. You know what I mean? I did not give up. I redid my resume. I worked on my LinkedIn. It was no point that I was just like, I can't do this, or I'm just
Yes.
going to settle for not having, you know?
Exactly.
And so that's what I feel like we got way off of Dr. Ninja Turtle's question, but that's what chapter 4 was really talking a lot about as well.
Uh-oh. Okay. Um. Yeah, I just think that you should always try to keep a positive, and you've got to believe in yourself, y'all. Like,
Absolutely.
no matter what, no matter what, man. I know this from my circumstances. Um, when I, oh man, when I lost everything
Mhm.
and I was just getting it from all angles, just family, just like, you're never going to be anything. You are
Right.
never going to make it out. You don't even deserve to have your child anymore.
No, and then that's
You
not
just,
that's different, because that's not even your own thoughts. That's people telling you that.
yes.
Yeah.
But you have to believe that you can get out of that. Like, you cannot, no, and why I am saying that in this situation, Osland, is because
Mhm.
I think that's what jobs do sometimes to their employees. They do
Mhm.
not build them up.
Right.
They don't make
You're
them
right.
feel empowered.
Mhm.
That's something that I try so hard now to do,
Mhm.
is to make the people that I manage feel empowered,
Right.
feel like they can.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't do that, you may have a superstar employee that's capable of extraordinary things for your company that you're beating down.
Yes, and that makes no
You
sense. You're
know,
working against yourself.
yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of like the same thought process is when I was in that situation and just having people make you feel like you cannot. And jobs will do that to you. I've seen
Yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen people do that to their
Mm-hmm.
employees and just make them feel like they cannot. And it's very important. I think it starts with self
Absolutely.
in making sure you're protecting and guarding how you feel about you and your capabilities. That
Mm-hmm.
is the first start. Before even finding another job, before even
Yep.
if you don't believe in yourself,
Mm-hmm.
when you get to that other job, it's going to be the same thing.
Right.
You
That
got to
belief in
put have
yourself, and
yeah.
also T, I would say being truly, I think it's like a crossways, because I'm actually thinking about my own self right now, but it
Hmm.
has to be a, I'm like truly sick and tired of the situation.
Yes.
I'm truly sick and tired of the situation, to where like
Mhm.
people talk about being scared to get out of their comfort zone. There's no, maybe this might be a hot take. There's no such thing as a comfort zone, because you're actually comfortable.
Right.
A certain part of you is comfortable. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
it's, you know what I mean? It's no such thing as a comfort zone, because the moment you decide that you're over it, it's uncomfortable, it's something I do not want any parts of, you make that change.
Yep.
You make the change.
And that's with anything.
That's with anything.
It's
Yeah.
honestly with anything. It's with anything that you do that you face in life.
Yeah.
It's with relationships.
Mm-hmm.
People
Yeah.
don't leave somebody until they've just gotten sick and tired of
Right.
being sick and
But
tired.
they will stay in that miserable comfort zone for a very long time, because
Hmm.
they're actually comfortable. You know, they actually, which, and when I say they're actually comfortable, I mean it so deeply. Like, I really want people to think about the fact that when it comes to wanting more, this is something I've learned very recently, which is why I use myself as an example. When it comes to wanting more, there's a certain fear sometimes of what that looks like. And so, like, you hold yourself back mentally,
Hmm.
you hold yourself back in your thoughts, and that's how you remain there. So, a part of you likes it, no matter how much you might gripe about you don't want this, you don't want that. If you're not to the point where you can make a lasting change, something, a part of you is, you know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
comfortable. What I was going to use it as is my own personal finance. When I first met you last year, you having a finance channel, I would be, I remember, like, this is basically what I'm saying. Over the year of me knowing you, I feel like my comments have changed when I
They
watch your
have,
when
Osley.
when I watch your content. You know, I remember going from like, oh my gosh, I can't wait till I learn how to save, or I want to save, and like saying certain things about like, man, I want to aspire to be this. I want to do this. Like, but at the
Hmm.
same time, I'm not trying to pay off debtors. I had my student loans just acting like, you remember that video you made, said like they are not going to forget. Like, they're
They're
not going
not.
to forget.
They're not.
Yeah.
But
So like just stuff like that. It's like I've seen
mhm.
myself get tired of that and start making changes. Now, the beautiful thing about changes is that it does not always have to happen overnight. Don't take anything that I'm saying, people that are listening now, and I want to read some comments, and, just whenever, that I'm saying you are crap if you don't change immediately. I'm not saying that at all. Please don't
Thank
take it
you.
that way. I'm not
Yes.
saying you are crap if you don't get up and change immediately. But you are the only person that can control your next move. Okay? So start small if you have to. But first of all, understanding you do deserve better. You are highly capable. Okay? You are made in the image of God, period. Okay, and you are
Period.
capable of anything. So start wherever you need to start, but start, do it. Don't just sit and accept things that don't make you happy. Whether it's a job, a relationship, a financial situation, whatever it is.
Oops.
So she said anyone is welcome to come up. Can I read some comments from I see Robinson family?
Absolutely.
Okay, so Angie said you pick and choose your battles. Absolutely. Um,
Mhm.
you absolutely pick and choose your battles, especially when it comes to work and relationships, everything. Robinson family says, always remember that HR is there to protect the company, not you, the employee. Amen.
That is a that's a gem. That's the thing
Amen.
people don't know. They do not know that.
Yes. Angie says, sometimes you may have to find another job. Keep your peace. Absolutely.
Hmm.
Dr.
And that may mean having to make an adjustment in your life.
Right.
You may have to be willing to not live a lifestyle that you lived before.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's too why I feel a lot of confidence in the things that I do,
Mm-hmm.
because and I just got to get this out. That's another reason why I talk about debt all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's not because I'm anti-debt, because that seems to be the thing that people think. It's not
Yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm.
It's because I know that the less debt I have, the more freedom I have to
Mm-hmm.
do what I feel. If I
Yes.
wanted to say, you know what, this job is getting on my nerves, I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to be here anymore. I don't have to go out and try to find a job that makes as much or more. I can go to somewhere that's less stressful, less
Yes.
money, and
Mhm.
still be okay. There's
Right.
multiple sides to that.
Yeah, because you're not living your
So
life owing people. Like,
yes,
like
that's
I feel like debt free is the most basic level of financial freedom that anyone can attain if you're smart. Being debt free.
yes, and it allows you to just not have to have as much money. You
Yeah.
don't have to have as much because you won't have as many bills.
Right.
So
Exactly. Yeah. Um, and then I wanted to say, crap, I lost my thought. I was reading comments too. Also,
yeah, you were reading I think it was Robinson Family's next one, and I think it was about being spiritually grounded. I think that was the one you were getting ready to read.
okay. Um, yeah, she said you have to stay spiritually grounded on these jobs. Most corporations use demonic energy to keep employees drained purposely. I would say this, Robinson family. I will not deny that, but you know what else? The energy comes from the music we listen to, the things we watch,
Mhm.
the stuff we watch on freaking TikTok and YouTube and social media. Because I'm like, sometimes I'm like, I was like, are you just a hard up person? I don't think I am. But when I sit there and I watch like certain comedians, black comedians make content that is like embarrassing to black culture, I'm like, first of all, you have other people watching this. And then you got us watching it thinking that this is who we are, what we do. You know what I mean? I'm talking about the stuff that's like insanely embarrassing, like violent, and just I don't like that type of stuff on my timeline. I don't think it's funny. They'll put like an overview of like people,
Mhm.
black people fighting and doing all kind of throwing stuff in the store, acting crazy, and they'll like put this voiceover to make it funny. I don't see that entertaining. Like I can't connect with this. I don't, you know what I mean? So I feel like corporations and jobs, they definitely have a way of, um, like you said earlier, T, that's what you were talking about, keeping us down. But the stuff we feed ourselves affects us. We have to just be mindful. I
And the
don't want
stuff
to,
we worship, Osalind, the stuff
yeah,
we want, the things that we think make us fulfilled, the material things that we think make us
right.
whatever,
Hmm.
it keeps us in a cycle. It keeps us in a cycle of being bound. The
Yeah,
more things I have, the more money I have to have. Now I'm
true.
in this hamster wheel.
True, and that's another side because the other side of that is the people that truly, because I've been here before, don't even have enough to think about wants. You're in pure survival. You're in pure trying to get this paid, trying to pay that robbing Peter to pay Paul
Mm-hmm.
stage. You have a lot of people there also. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But truly, truth be told, like you have to first understand that you have more control over that situation than you may think.
Yes.
One of the things I wanted to touch on earlier, especially when it talks about like um maybe changing a job or what you can do, that you have to be willing sometimes to learn a new skill. We're talking something about that. You saying willing to do. You have to be willing to learn a new skill sometimes. You know, but what does it take to learn a new skill first? You gotta believe you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you gotta be willing to take a, like she said in this book a lot. You gotta be willing to take a risk, take a chance, be willing to look stupid, be willing to be cringe. You know, like because people gonna be scrolling on your videos, on your content, saying, "Oh my gosh, Osland is so cringe, and I'm gonna be a millionaire." Forget y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying like that's happening, but you have to think like that. You cannot let what other people might think limit you.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to be willing, to whatever that looks like. I'm using
Yes.
I'm using content creation as an example because it's my real life, but that could be whatever. That could be starting a business. That can be dating somebody. That could be all the list of things. Writing a book, like she
Changing
said,
careers.
changing careers. That could be changing careers. What does this person think they're going? What you gonna do? I'm gonna
Mhm.
figure it out. You know,
Exactly. I do like what Robinson family said though here about the pandemic should have showed folks they had a false sense of security on these jobs.
mm-hmm.
I really believe, and that's honestly part of the reason that I wish more people would look at finance content, Robinson family, because if they if to set themselves up for a place where if a job did the 1 2, the little okey doke on you,
Right.
that you would be prepared for it. It's so important to be prepared for that. But it showed me a lot. The pandemic let me know to keep my eyes open.
Yeah.
Just keep your eyes open. There is no guarantee. I don't trust anything right now in
Mm-hmm.
this world, to be quite honest with you.
Neither do I. I'm Pandemic was a interesting time for me. I worked the whole pandemic. Like, but I was in a weird career, weird job where I was not an essential worker, so I got no essential worker benefits, but I still went to work
Wow.
every day. I was working at a loan company. Like people were still coming in paying they payday loans and stuff like that. But we didn't get no essential worker bonus or nothing. Like we was just at work. We were just at work. Like, but I feel grateful and blessed for that because it didn't interrupt my routine that bad.
Yeah, we didn't have any interruptions either. My husband was an essential worker having to go in, but I work here so I could still work. I didn't have any interruption during the
Yeah.
pandemic at all. Um,
But no, that I agree. Robinson family mentioned that, and honestly, that was a
mhm.
very scary time. It was unprecedented in a lot of ways. And T, you're right. We cannot be like in a air bubble to where we cannot anticipate it happening again.
Mhm.
And not, of course, not in a prepare for live in fear ever that, never that. But it happened in our lifetime. We saw it. Look at what's going on with the world now. It could be another 5 years from now, and you don't want to be caught looking crazy when it comes to that. So
Mhm.
there's a very good reminder. Thanks for mentioning that, Robinson
And yeah,
family.
that's what I said. Yeah, that was a very good mention as far as the pandemic and everything. Um, yes, and she said that we're exchanging for being spiritually grounded for a job. You're exchanging your time and energy for money.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly,
That's what you're
Robinson
doing.
family.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. That's why I haven't gotten to the point. yet, but I'm on my journey. I'm also learning to just enjoy the ride, and be more present. So even though I can have goals, I no longer hold my goals up here like they have to be completed right now because that gives me stress. That triggers my stress response, when I think I have to do something now. But one of the things I want to do
Mm.
is learn to invest in a way that I'm no longer exchanging my time for money. I can use the mind that
Mhm.
God blessed me with to learn ways to operate outside of a system that requires me to use my time in exchange for money. That's really what I
Yes,
want.
I love that.
Because um I mean in the future, y'all, I may want to have a family. I don't see myself as a um full-time working mom. I don't.
Mhm.
I've never have. I've been, y'all know me. I've said a million times on the show I didn't want children. I'm fine being a rich auntie. If I do get to a point where I want children, that's gonna be my job.
Yes,
And I'm not saying that's gonna be the only way that I make. I need to have stuff going on because that's gonna be my job. I
you want the
refuse.
flexibility.
Yes, I want it to
Yes.
be that. Like that's what I want to do. I do
Mhm.
not, and I also don't want to be a stay-at-home mom. That's not what I'm saying either. I just want to be free. I would
Mhm.
love to be debt free outside of a healthy number of investments. And I want to be able to focus energy on my family because a lot of times people work jobs, they're working 40 hours a week and they don't have they can't cover everything. They can't cover everything. I don't know. I'm it's interesting that this became like a kind of finance conversation, but I feel like that's a very important thing to you when you really think about it. A lot of marriages, it's because the people maybe work too much. You're never at home. You're always working, but I have to work to support us. And it's like,
Financial issues is the number one cause of divorce.
yeah, and then it's like, but what if you didn't have to trade your time for money? What if you could spend more time with your
Right.
spouse? What if you learn how to set these systems up? Not to say it would be super easy. It's not going to be easy more than likely, but yeah, I just think that's a good thing to meditate on and think about.
Mhm. But yeah, it's not. It's really. It's just one of those stressors.
Hmm.
Out of that list, this is another thing that could be a stressor. Because she was stressed out in the beginning of the book. And what was she stressed out about?
Money.
The debt they were in. Yep.
Yep.
They were in a
And
lot
she
of
was in
debt.
a lot of debt. eight hundred
Hmm.
thousand.
Hmm.
I could not imagine.
So it's just another one of the stressors that people have. Um, I think Dr. Ninja Turtle said that that's how he feels about YouTube. He's learning to not worry about what people think of me. I'm learning that too. I'm also learning to use that frame of reference to try to understand where other people are coming from
Hmm.
and where their perspective is
Yeah.
and where they are in their life as it relates to what they're talking about. So it's I think about that, but I also think about opening my mind a little more.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And T, that's how you know that, like, I feel like when it comes to life, that willingness to learn and expand, that keeps you okay.
Mm-hmm.
On all levels, being able to learn, it's the fixed mindset. It's the fix this, fix everything that causes the constraint, which makes sense even in the definition of those words.
Mm-hmm.
It's all of that that keeps you like, but yeah, that's pretty cool.
I think that's
I,
the
I'm
theme
I'm
for
really I'm
today.
really enjoying this book overall.
Me too. And I'm applying it. And I love
Yeah.
that about it is that I'm actually applying what I'm learning and reading
Hmm.
to real life. I love that.
Yeah. And I know last week I was saying like I wonder what else she's gonna how else is she gonna use this? Like I felt like you said what you said, but man, it goes in
Hmm.
more, and we still have I think
She had
after
more.
yeah after next week we'll have. I'm not sure how many in the whole book, but we're doing three
I can't
chapters next
remember.
week, right?
Yeah, we're doing 3.
Seven, seven, eight, nine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. So I'm curious. Like, this has really been a good book, though. I'm really happy that I read it. I'm reading it.
Yeah. But yeah. Well, yeah, that's true, Doc. I just think that I don't know, with how I view finance content in relation to how we make finance content for our channel. I'm talking about myself on my channel. So I'm gonna put it back to me.
Hmm.
Because we're supposed to be speaking in eyes. That's one of our things
Yeah,
that we're
that
gonna
is
talk
one of
about
our things.
ourselves,
Yeah,
not other people.
generalizations.
Yeah. So when I'm making content, I'm sharing what I have done.
Hmm.
In no way am I saying what I have done should be what you do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And so when I look at someone else's channel, when as it relates to finances, I can't really judge their situation
Hmm.
because they are presenting and what they are doing, what works for them.
Right.
And I think when you start to talk about money and finances and this and that, I think you start to get that thing where it has to do with this book, that imposing of your will
Yeah.
on people, where you think they shouldn't have that and you think they shouldn't be doing this and you think
Right.
that it,
In fact, the thing about finances is like it's such a deeply personal thing.
Mhm.
Like it's deeply personal.
Exactly.
So it's like literally what works for this person. And I mean, honestly, there are some things that are generally like
Yeah, generally
understood.
acceptable. Yeah.
Right. But how you go about that and how you interpret those things is all up to you as an individual, you know?
Hmm. And where you are in your life.
And where you are in your
We're
life.
all in the different stages of life. You
Yes.
know, like you might be starting a family. That's a whole other stage of life. Like
Right,
that's a whole
exactly.
other part of life. So it's just I'm trying or I'm making a commitment to be more aware of that.
Hmm.
Not imposing, which I honestly I would never do that anyway. I would never go
Yeah.
to somebody's finance content and say you should be doing this. That's
Yeah.
weird in
Right.
my personal opinion. But
Right. Yeah.
people do it. So
Hmm. Yeah.
hey Shanette, how are you?
Hi, Shanette. Thank you for joining us.
But
But
yeah.
yeah. Look, we gonna say that.
We said that at the same time. But yeah.
But yeah. All right. Well, you guys, we're at about that time, you know. This has been great. I really do love this. It's
Yes.
very, very fun and effortless and it's growth, trending. Like I love everything about it. So thank you, T, for one, for doing this together. Thank you, Dr. Ninja Turtle, for being here, Robinson family,
Yes.
Shanette. Thank you,
Everybody.
Chef Dice, and everybody that came in,
Who
everybody that's
was
watching on the
it?
replay.
Angela. There was somebody
Angelique,
else.
Angela, yeah, I see someone else earlier.
Yeah.
Um,
D Dunk.
oh yeah, D Dunk. Yes, I did see D Dunk. Yes,
Um,
thank y'all all for tuning
just
in. Thank you.
everybody.
Right, everyone on the replay. So next week we'll be doing chapters 7, 8, and 9.
Mm-hmm.
Same time, same place. And thank you for being a part of Pages and Perspectives. We'll see you all next week. Bye.
Osla, stay in the back. Ended it.